What's going on, Chiefs Kingdom? Jason Andrews here. And before we get into today's video, I got a challenge for you. You see, the bosses here at Chat Sports, I'm still the new guy. I'm still trying to kind of prove myself. Well, I proved myself last time as I asked for 20 subs, but they want to up the ante with the game this week. So can we get 40 subs on today's video? I need your help. I need you to help me prove to the bosses that Chiefs Kingdom has got my back and the Chiefs Kingdom loves the Chiefs Report. Welcome in. All right, today's video, we're going to go through the entire Chiefs 2023 schedule, and we are going to look at every single game, and we're going to predict them as well as we're less than a week from opening night. The Lions coming in, taking on the Chiefs. It's going to be a big game, but let's go through every game here as we get ready for the season. All right, the first 8 games, they look like this. As we have the Lions, of course, on Thursday Night Football, Jaguars, then the Bears, then the Jets on Sunday Night Football again, Aaron Rodgers, so be sure to watch that one. That'll be a big game. Week 5 at the Vikings. If you follow the whole Super Bowl conspiracy theory trend, that could be a potential Super Bowl preview with the red and the purple in the logo. Week 6, we face the division rival Broncos on Thursday night. Week 7, another division foe with the Chargers, and then right back with the Broncos here, or rather there in Arrowhead. Then we go to Week 9, where the Dolphins don't come to town. We don't go to Miami. We both go to Germany as the international series for the NFL continues. The Chiefs take on the Dolphins. 8 a.m. Central Time for kickoff here. So that's going to be a tough one, but luckily you get a bye right after that. And then the Super Bowl rematch, Week 11 with the Eagles on Monday Night Football. They come to Arrowhead. That's going to be a big game to see. I mean, at that point, there's a very real possibility these two teams could be leading both the NFC and the AFC. Week 12, it's our first Raiders matchup. That one's going to be at the Raiders. Then you have the Packers on Sunday Night Football without Aaron Rodgers. Mentioned he'll be on the Jets. Week 14 versus the Bills. That'll be a big game as well. We've seen how the Bills and Chiefs have, I'm going to say, somewhat of a rivalry over the past couple of years. Then you got a Monday Night Football game against the Patriots in Foxborough. And then you get the Christmas game against the Raiders, the morning game on Christmas. So Chiefs, hopefully they start off Christmas with a little present to all of Chiefs Kingdom with a win. Week 17, you go and have the Bengals come to town, and then you close out the season in Los Angeles against the Chargers. All right, so there's the 18 games, and I want to hear what you think the Chiefs' record will be. I want you to get in the comments and predict the Chiefs' 2023 record. We'll go into my prediction here in a moment, but I want you to get down there, predict the Chiefs' record before I tell you what exactly I think of all this. So get in there, whatever you think the Chiefs' record will be, type it in the chat. We'll be looking for it. All right, before we get into my predictions, I want to point out 3 key games. And this should come as no shock to anybody between these 3. The first one, Dolphins in Germany, international series. At that point, there's a very real chance if the Chiefs could get past Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, they could be undefeated at that point, definitely. Week 14 versus the Bills. I think closing out the season, it's very important to have a good winning streak. And the back half of the season is definitely much stronger than the first half of the Chiefs. And then obviously that Week 17 matchup against the Bengals. We've seen them a couple of times in the playoffs, so you might want to be able to win that game to get your footing right before Week 18 and then playoffs. All right, let's get into my predictions. Let's start off with Week 1 as they get the win against the Lions. I think this one is going to be a shootout. I mentioned we'll talk more about it in a preview video coming up, but I think the Chiefs get the dub in the first week. The second game at the Jaguars, you get the win there as well as Trevor Lawrence. Well, he falls to Patrick Mahomes for the second time in the past year. You go then to the Bears. I think you win. Justin Fields he's doing well, but there's no chance he's got anything like Patrick has. Now, I mentioned here's the key game that wasn't on the top 3, but is the big thing to see if you're going to be undefeated when it goes to that Germany game. I think you lose against the Jets. I honestly think you do. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to start off hot because the Jets season is going to go one of 2 ways. It's either going to be very poor or he's going to run away and Rodgers is going to be able to control that Jets team, and they're going to be pretty good. I think the Chiefs do lose that game. It's in New York. Just a tough loss there. I definitely think it'll be a close game. Week 5, you bounce back with a win in Minnesota against the Vikings. Nothing much there. Kirk Cousins got nothing on Patrick Mahomes. All right, so as of right now, the Chiefs' record is going to be 4-1, with that one loss coming to the Jets. Again, Aaron Rodgers just gets the better of the vet over, I'm not going to say the young guy anymore because Patrick isn't young anymore, but the guy who is not as old as Aaron Rodgers. All right, week 6. Now we're going to dive in here with the Broncos. You get your division win here against the Broncos. You play them twice in 3 weeks, so let's see if they get a double win. I think you lose against the Chargers on week 7. I think at that point you're just you're playing back to back to start the season. It's a lot of games in a row. I think that game you probably could just mark up to fatigue. Again, at home, but I think that point is just going to be fatigue factor. Week 8, you have the Broncos. I think you win. I don't think that Sean Payton's going to do too much for the Broncos this year, and we've had their number. We're going to continue to have their number. Week 9, the Dolphins in Germany. I think you get the win. It's going to be a fun game. I think it's been mentioned a lot that Tyreek Hill wanted to come back to Arrowhead Stadium. Well, he doesn't get the opportunity, and it doesn't matter because he's going to lose in Germany. You can sip on that. In week 10, you get the bye. Obviously, you travel all the way to Germany. You have 9 games in a row. You deserve a little bit of a break for Mr. Mahomes and Kelsey and the rest of the Chiefs squad. Before we continue with the last 8 games, I want to know what your favorite game on the Chiefs schedule is. Because there's a lot of really fun games. The Germany game, the Christmas game against the Raiders. Obviously, you get the Bills and the Bengals, which are 2 guys that I'm not going to say, again, no rivalries, but definitely some disliking toward each other. So let me know in the comments your favorite game on the Chiefs schedule. So as we stand now, the Kansas City Chiefs are 7-2 at the bye. Well then, they get a rude awakening after it. They face the Eagles in a Super Bowl rematch, and they lose. I think that, well, let's just say the Eagles are sparing no expense trying to do whatever they can to win now. And given you won the Super Bowl close game, I think the Eagles just kind of have more of a I want to win factor. And at that point, you're the Chiefs. You're feeling good about how your season's going. And 1 loss isn't going to kill you. You get the Raiders next week. Easy win. Jimmy G, he's not going to be any better than Derek Carr. They got nothing. It's Jacoby Myers and Devontae Adams with Jimmy G. I just don't see them being good at all this year. Then you have another bad team who was, quote-unquote, good. The Packers. Jordan Love, he's no Aaron Rodgers. That ain't going to work. And so I think you get the win there in Green Bay. Then week 14, you have the loss. I mentioned how the back half of the season, a little more stressful than the first half. You face the Bills. You lose this time. Tough loss. I'm going to say that one is very, very close. So an update on the record. Chiefs are now 9-4 by my count. Again, this is all prediction. Let's hope it's right, though, because I'd say you're doing pretty good. Before we get to the final 4 games, I want you to like the video if you're excited for the Chiefs 2023 season. We're getting real close. We're getting amped up here on the Chiefs Report, and I want to see if you're amped up. So like the video if you are super pumped and excited for this Chiefs team to get off the ground and start their repeat journey. All right, week 15. You take the Patriots, you beat the Patriots. Foxborough, it's not going to be much. It may be a little cold, but hey, that's all right. Patrick Mahomes has dealt with cold in his career. He gets the win there. Then the Christmas game against the Raiders. Well, boy, oh boy, does Patrick Mahomes have a present for us. He gets the win. We take the Raiders down, and you're feeling pretty good as you head into the Bengals. Well, you lose, unfortunately. I think that's just a tough loss. Joe Burrow, again, there's just kind of some form of like, when you're the champ, everybody wants to beat you in the regular season. Everybody wants to say, we beat them. Well, guess what? Cool, you beat us in the regular season. Let's see if you can do it again in the playoffs. You get the win in Week 18 against the Chargers to round out your season. You're feeling good. You win 3 out of your last 4 to go into the playoffs. I think you're feeling really good. And by my count, the final record for the Chiefs, well, it's 12-5. I like that. I think that may be a little bit on the low end, to be honest. And especially if Chris Jones steps in the situation, that 12-5, that could be a 13-4, potentially a 14-3 with him in the, let's just say, Chiefs roster. All right. Now we've gone through the schedule. I want you to answer the question, who's going to win the AFC West? The Chiefs, by my total, I had 1 loss for them in the division against the Chargers. So I want you to get in the chat and type who you think wins the AFC West. Type KC if you think the Chiefs. Type LV If for some odd reason you think the Raiders, I don't know why, type LAC if you think the Chargers, and type DEN if you think the Broncos are going to win the AFC West. I'm spamming the KCs all day because the AFC West, it's all Chiefs. It's going to be all Chiefs. It's always going to be Chiefs because you're always going to have to deal with the Chiefs. Belongs to them, and it's going to stay with them. So again, type in the comments, I want to see spamming of KCs. All right, subscribe again to the Chiefs Report. Everything you want to know about the Chiefs all in one place. Hit the subscribe button. We're running up on the season. And turn on those notifications as well so you never miss a video.